What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Gooner Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new review. This time on the Arsenal versus Hull game. For, just to do a little bit of spot business. Sorry, my brain went blank there. Just to thank Liam for having me on Gooner News TV. We've literally just come from doing a review there. So if you want to check out my initial thoughts, go over there. I'm going to do a little bit of a detailed one for obviously my channel here. So do stick with me and let's get into it. So yesterday we had the visit of Hull. And I did say yesterday that it would not be an easy game, and as it proved. I did say it'd be 2-0, and I actually got a flipping score prediction right. So let me pat myself on the back. It was every bit what I thought it would be. You know, atmosphere was a bit dire. A lot of people couldn't make it. There was a lot of empty seats yesterday. Yeah, it was snowing. The whole day was a bit meh, you know. And the performance was a bit meh. You know, I made the comparison on Gooner News TV. I'll say it again because I think it's apt. We didn't quite get out of gear 2 yesterday, with all due respect to Hull. And don't get it twisted, it wasn't gear 2 because we didn't think we needed gear 3, 4, 5. It's gear 2 because our car is old and rusty and we couldn't quite move the gear stick into gear 3, or the shifter for any American fans I have. I got you, don't worry. Yeah, it was a tricky game to kind of negotiate in terms of, you know, there was a lot of tension in the air. You know, a lot of people remarked about the fact that if we gone on to lose that game, it would have turned toxic it would have turned nasty and toxic really quickly. I'll be honest, I watched the game fairly relaxed yesterday. You know, I even watched it with my girl. I was just talking to her, chilling, relaxed, mainly because I felt quite comfortable that we'd go on and win it. And you're probably saying, well, why would you feel comfortable? Mainly because I kind of, maybe you guys do this. Do you ever watch, you ever sit back sometimes and you happen to put on an England game? Or if you don't particularly support England, it could be any other international game. And you're kind of half interested in it, but you're not really you don't really have the same buzz that you normally would. You know, you kind of just almost going through the motions of watching it. That was kind of how I felt yesterday watching the game, you know. I think last week really kind of took a lot out of me in terms of enthusiasm. So I was watching the game and I was a bit like, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we scored. That was kind of my emotion, my whole roller coaster going through the game. And I just feel like at this moment in time, it's almost like, in a way, I'm kind of looking forward to the Bayern Munich game. The reason being is because I think it would give us almost a new fresh focus, because almost the league is all but done. Yes, I understand Chelsea drew today and with only 10 points behind them. Come on, right? Let's just be honest here. You know, the league is more or less done. For us, the battle is, as per usual, getting into the top 4. And I, for one, am not that bothered if we get in the top 4 or not. You know, and I already hear you guys saying it. Oh, but if we don't get in the top 4, that means we'll lose Ozil and we'll lose Sanchez. The way I'm feeling right now, honestly, yes, I want them to stay. Let me make this clear. Yes, I want them to stay. But I'm almost at that point where I hate the idea that Arsenal are being held to ransom by 2 players. One of them has decided, I'm not going to show up for the next couple of games. And the other one, who, as great of a player as he is, no one man should be bigger than the club. So I'm kind of in this kind of bypass in my head where I'm just like, you know what? If you want to leave, bounce, sinner. And that's kind of my attitude. So I'm not that fussed whether we make the top 4. I personally only care about finishing number 1. That's all I care about. If we're not number 1, I will support the team. I will do what it takes. But the way I see it, my enthusiasm will be down. And that was how I found myself yesterday. My enthusiasm was more or less rock bottom. That said, I felt like there were some decent performances, Gibbs being one of them. Yes, Wenger actually started Gibbs. He actually remembered he had another left back other than Monreal. And he played well, you know, regardless of whether or not you think his last-ditch tackle was a foul or whether he should have got a red card. I don't give a damn. He didn't get sent off, so I'm all right with it. I thought, aside from that, I actually thought he played all right. I think Bellerin was a bit tentative, but I think he was always going to be, given his heavy knock that he took against Chelsea. I thought the defense performed better. Czech was still dodgy, but he made a couple of decent saves. Coquelin was okay. You know, he was all right. Ox, star man for me yesterday. And yes, I understand Alexis scored twice yesterday. Still Ox, star man for me yesterday. And I think he's asking some serious questions about if he should start in the middle. And FYI, spoiler alert, for me, he starts in the middle against Bayern. But then, as per usual, you still had your questions, you know. Where is Theo? More importantly, where is Mesut Ozil? As much as I love Iwobi, the young man should sit on the bench now. Like, now is the time to sit on the bench. Wenger should be protecting him. For me, he's exposing him. And I keep saying that. He's exposing him because yes, I understand the theory. You know, sometimes you only get better by playing week in, week out. But also how you manage someone is by also protecting them when they're in the spotlight, you know, also holding them back. Dare I say it, checking his ego a little bit, if necessary. And these are the things that I wish Wenger would do. I thought Alexis played reasonably well. Yes, I understand he scored 2 goals, but let's be honest, the penalty weren't that good. I don't know what the goalkeeper was doing, but the penalty weren't that good. But all right, it was a pressure penalty, so I should cut in some slack. And obviously the first goal was a good goal, but I thought he played well, but I still feel, for me, Ox was the star man. So I guess this should lead into my 1 to 10 ratings. For me, I'd give Czech a 6. Should have got a 7 because he made 2 really good saves. I am starting to worry when he's in goal. And Czech was bought specifically for the reason of preventing that type of worry. And now we're starting to worry. You've got to think what Troops has been saying for months is true. Maybe his powers have started to fade. And maybe we're starting to see that. 6 out of 10. Bellerin was always going to be tentative going into this game. He took a hefty knock. You try getting knocked out and then played the next game the following week. He was always going to be tentative. 6 out of 10. Mustafi, I thought, played all right. I don't think he was mesmerizing, but I thought he played okay. 6 out of 10. Koscielny, on the other hand, I thought played really, really well. Mopped up well for Mustafi when Mustafi did go on his little exploring. I'd give Koscielny 8 out of 10, actually. I thought he played particularly well. Gibbs, I'd give him a 7. I thought he played well without being spectacular. Took a risk making that last-ditch tackle. Gave the ball maybe away once or twice, if we're being honest. And I'm always honest. But I thought generally he was a breath of fresh air, just having some pace down that left-hand side. I think when you play someone like either Iwobi or Alexis out there, you know, 2 players who like to cut in, you need someone who's going to be able to get up and down very, very quickly, and that's what Gibbs can do. So 7 out of 10. I thought Coquelin came back well, considering I thought he was so bad against Chelsea, and I really did. I really thought he was bad against Chelsea. But I thought he played reasonably well yesterday. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. For me, Ox was my man of the match. I'd give him an 8.5 out of 10. Thought he played really well and is really asking the question. You know, now that Xhaka, obviously his ban doesn't carry forward into the Champions League. El Nene's back, and obviously Coquelin's there. I think, for me, he's really staking his claim for a place in that middle, in the middle. I really like him out there. I really do. I would go ahead and start him. I'll be honest. For me, I'd give him 8.5. I thought he was really, really good. Ozil, where the fuck is this guy? Where is he? Where is he? He's not been around for a month. Because someone tell me where Mesut Ozil is. He weren't there yesterday either. Had a couple of okay shots from a guy who kind of sort of looked like Mesut Ozil. If you squint real hard, you would swear it was him. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't know where the real Mesut Ozil's gone. Not quite as bad as last week. 4 out of 10. If I'm being generous. 4 out of 10. Iwobi, I have to be honest. You guys know he's my boy, but I have to be honest. I thought he did exactly okay. I thought there were times where he kept overrunning the ball and it kept pissing me off. And it kept making me think, just play simple. Stop doing some stupid shit. But as people constantly keep saying, and I know it must annoy a lot of people, he is young. He'll develop. This kid has it. Mark my words, he has it. I just don't think he has it on the left-hand side. That's my opinion. 5 out of 10. If we're being honest, 5 out of 10. Theo, I thought he was missing yesterday. I really did. The only time I saw Theo, and for that reason, I'll bump his mark up a little bit, was there was one time it was nice to see some fire and rage out of Theo. I was like, yes, Theo, come on, I got your back, come on. I was really, really enjoying it. For that reason, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. I love that fire for Theo. I was like, yes, Theo, come on, I got your back, come on. Alexis scored 2 goals. Didn't think the penalty was particularly good. It was kind of sort of down the middle without being that precise. But I'd give him an 8 out of 10. The only other one I will properly mark would be El Nene. I thought El Nene came on and did really, really well. For me, he's another one. I think he's also asking a very serious question about Wednesday. You guys watch for my preview to see what my 1 to 11 will be in my next video. However, I thought he did pretty well when he came on. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I won't mark Perez and I won't mark Welbeck because frustratingly, both of these guys came on when it was like 82 minutes. And you're like, Wenger, what is this? But Perez, as per usual, causing problems. As per usual is the reason we got the penalty in the first place. His movement terrifies the defense. And why Wenger does not give this kid a chance, I will never understand. So I thought he played really well. I thought Welbeck was okay. I thought he had 1 or 2 decent touches, but again, he didn't really have a lot of time to get into the game. And I love Welbeck. So I wanted to mark him highly, but there was nothing that I could really judge him on. There was nothing. I don't even think he particularly had a couple of. I don't think he had may have had 1 shot on target, but other than that, I don't think there was anything that great that he did, if I'm being honest. And then I guess the manager. I think the manager deserves maybe a 7 out of 10. Still don't 100% agree with his lineup. But I thought, considering he faced immense pressure coming into this game, if from anyone else, from the fans, the board have got his back no matter what, but from the fans, he faced a lot of pressure from a hellish week, came back strong. Listen, I still want the man to go, but ultimately I have to just be honest. I thought he came back well, led the team well, brought on certain players that he should have. Wish he brought on Welbeck and Perez a little bit sooner, but I'll give him a 7 out of 10. And then onwards and upwards to what I'm hoping won't be a Valentine's Day massacre. It'll be Bayern Munich versus Arsenal. I am terrified. At the same time, I'm strangely looking forward to it, just because I think it will give us a new focus. It will allow me, first of all, to try and be enthusiastic. And second of all, I think it will give us an opportunity to be able to do something that, let's face it, it'll be very Arsenal when expectations are rock bottom, for us to go to Bayern Munich and beat them well. That would be a very Arsenal thing to do. So fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. You let me know your thoughts down below about what you thought about yesterday's game. You guys know whenever you do that, I interact with you guys. So let me know what you thought. If you're watching me for the first time, hit that subscribe button. And if you're on Twitter, do follow me at Colossal Chick. Until Monday, when I'll be back with my preview for the Bayern Munich game. All right, take care, people. Peace.